So Michigan had that really tough loss to Florida at the end of last season. But I think that really bright things are ahead of Michigan in 2019. And today I'm going to be going over my schedule preview for this team. I'm just going to be going over a few little points as to what this team is going to be losing for next season, players that they're going to be losing, and the first look at their schedule. So getting started with this, they went 10-3 in 2018. It was a good season. It's kind of what I expected from Michigan, to see them go 10 wins. But they really are returning a lot of players, and I think this is going to be a great team next year. Tons of potential. Shea Patterson and all running backs return from Michigan. Both of their running backs, their top two running backs, will be seniors next year. So that is something to note for Michigan. But they do lose 2 offensive linemen, but only 1 receiver and tight end. So offensively, this should be one of the best offenses in the Big Ten. With them only really losing a receiver and a tight end being an impact player. That is huge. That is huge. And then they lose 2 defensive linemen, 1 linebacker, cornerback, and safety each. So really defensively, this should be a great defense once again for Michigan. I don't know how you can bet against this team. I mean, we've already been hearing a whole bunch of hype on Michigan, even though they got blown out on their during their bowl game. I don't know how they got blown out so terribly, but it just wasn't that great of a day for them. But I think that they're going to be seeing some great things in 2019. Not many losses for sure from both sides of the football. College football playoff run in 2019. I think that this team certainly could make a run for the college football playoff next season. I mean, looking at their schedule, they don't have it too tough, but they don't have it easy either. They've got, just looking over this, they do have Army at the beginning of the season, but they do have them at home. That's going to be their toughest non-conference game, that one against Army. So that is something. Actually, no, they also have Notre Dame. They have Notre Dame at home on October 26th. You can't forget about that one too. So yeah, this is a sort of challenging schedule, but the thing is that they get most of their tough opponents at home. Middle Tennessee at the beginning of the season should be an easy game. And then this is what I'm expecting from this schedule right now. In green are the games that I think they should win pretty easily. Typically, I do have red on here for I'd have games in red for the games that I think could be possible losses. And as you can see, I don't have any red on here. I don't see any of these games being evident losses yet. Of course, the games in white, there are 6 of them. Those are games that I'm not very certain about yet. Of course, still being in January, we still have several months until the season begins. And we still don't know who's all going to the NFL and who's going to be sticking around their college careers. And so that's why I'm leaving those white, because I couldn't give an accurate prediction on those. But if I were to say 3 games that would be toughest for them this year, it'd be Penn State. They've got them on the road. That is the game that I think they have the highest chance of losing at Penn State. That is such a hard place to play. Very tough. And then they've got Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame won't be as good this year. I can't see them staying consistent with how they did last year. And plus, they're losing a ton of players. They are really losing a lot. So Notre Dame, that should be a win for Michigan. And then on November 30th against Ohio State, of course, that's always a huge game every year, in and out. And so I think Ohio State, that also could be a tough game. But I think Michigan being at home, that's going to really help them in that game. I think Michigan, they also have Michigan State at home. That is huge. And then we got at Wisconsin, but Wisconsin, they haven't really been themselves lately. And then Army, that should be a win. But still though, it's going to be a close one. We saw Army, they showed big flashes of potential towards the end of last season. So watch out for Army as well. But I think that their estimated record, I'd say 9-3 to 12-0. They could go 8-4 in the worst case scenario, but I certainly can see them going 11-1 or even 12-0 next year. Huge things. And this would be a really interesting team next year. I think they're going to be sticking around in the top parts of the rankings for the majority of the season. But yeah, they should make it. I'm expecting them to make it to the Big Ten championship game. I think they're going to beat Ohio State into it. But of course, we are still several months away, so nothing is really guaranteed yet. Injuries can still happen, unfortunately, so nothing too guaranteed yet. But this is just my first preview on Michigan. I'll be going over Michigan once again in the spring, and I probably will again in this summer for my final predictions on every team. So what do you guys think about this prediction? If you disagreed, be sure to let me know in the comments below. I like looking over your guys' thoughts. But yeah, thank you guys all for watching. More previews to come. Thank you all for watching again. And be sure to show some support, and only if you would like to. I will see you all later.